what does it mean, Hinuch? When I have to be mechanech my child, and every person has an obligation. Rama said it, Kiddushin, right? That we have an obligation to educate our kids, to teach them Torah. But what is Hinuch? You know what, can we just close that door? Come in, Mr. Zai. Rav Dessler, I want to tell you this great Rav Dessler. Rav Dessler writes, Hinuch is all about teaching your kid to a point where he's able to make decisions on his own. That means I teach my child and I give him the proper education, and the proper hashkafot, and the proper training. That when my child becomes a gadol, when he becomes older, he's able to make choices on his own. That's chinuch. Chinuch is prepping my child, training him, preparing him to the point where he needs no guidance once he becomes a gadol. He's able to stand in the face of adversaries, in the face of communal pressure, in the face of all peer pressure, and he's able to make the decision by himself with no guidance or assistance. That's chinuch. And the truth of the matter is that when we're training our kid, we got to train him as if he's already there. For instance, anybody here ever serve in the army? Anyone here serve in the army? Right? Well, Naim, but that's the mafia, not the army. But it's something close, right? Naim, I know I love you. You're my man. When they come and they train you for the army, what do? They train you as if you're in battle. You don't just sit there and jump rope. You're trained as if you're actually in the midst of a war, of a battle. Put it on silence, please. And that's why we have to train our kids. When we're teaching our kids how to say emet versus sheker, the emet's got to be as if they're being tested now. To train our kid to tell the truth. Or how to pray. I want to tell you something. And mechila. Many times we think that a shul is a babysitting service. We take our kid, and our kid sits next to us for 5 minutes. He starts saying in our ears, he complains. Like, go play with your friends. Go play with your friends. 1 second. Is that the proper chinuch? I'm training my kid to sit down and pray. To sit down and listen to Torah. To listen to the rabbi's words. If my son comes to shul, and you could always quote me on this. Quote Rabbi Zeytouneh said, if my kid comes to shul and he's unable to sit next to you, he's got to go around and run away in the hallways, don't bring him to shul. That means he's not ready yet to come to shul. When you're ready to come to shul, that means you're ready to sit next to your son, to your father, and you're ready to pray to Borei Olam. But if you're not ready, then it's not time yet to come to shul. Because again, we're training our kid as if it's war now. That way, B'ezrat Hashem, when he's 13, because I want to tell you something. If you have a kid that comes to shul and all day long he's in the hallway when he's 5, that's the way he's going to be when he's 25. And that's the way he's going to be when he's 35. Because his training was misguiding him. He didn't train him properly. You know, even my son, Shebari, my son, brought him to shul. I saw he was a little hyper. I left him for another year. I didn't bring him to shul until I felt he was old enough, mature enough to sit next to me. And you can offer all types of incentives. So you give him prizes, you give him money, no problem. Give him candy, give him toys, whatever it is. But you got to sit. You know, there was a person who came to my shul the other day. Rabbi Paul, is listening? Comes to my shul. He brings his son and his grandson. His son and his grandson come to me and they say, Rabbi, if we're quiet, you give us a prize? I said, sure, go downstairs. If you're quiet downstairs, you shouldn't really be in shul yet. Downstairs, you're quiet, no problem. You get a prize. They made so much noise. After Shabbat, the father comes to me and says, "Oh, you promised them a prize." I said, "I'm not giving them a prize." He said, "Why, Rabbi? Come on, they're little kids. Don't you want them to come to shul?" I said, "You don't understand. If I show them now, you can do whatever you want, and you're still going to get a prize. No. And they're never going to learn that they have to do what's right. And therefore, I told the kids, sorry kids, come next week, then you get a prize." The next week they came, they sat by the father, and they got a prize. Because chinuch is challenging my child, training him, teaching him, so that Be'ezrat Hashem, when the time comes, that point of contention, That point of adversary-ness, I don't know if adversary is, I don't know what that word is. The point where he's going to be tested, he'll be able to pass on his own. That's what Hinuch is. And that's what we have to make sure that we do with our kids, to train them properly. Now, Rabotai, gentlemen, all of you here, Baruch Hashem, are skilled fathers. You're good people, I hope. Almost all of you. Okay, anyway, but it doesn't matter. So here's my question. If I was to ask you, what is the number one midah, the number one trait, number one gift that you can give your son, that you can instill in your son, you can implant in your child? What would you tell me? What's the number one thing I could give my kid? So people are going to come and say, Yirat Shamayim. That's wonderful. Some people are going to come and say, to be honest, that's beautiful. But I think, and I have educational experts over here, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong, the number one thing you could give your kid is confidence. Confidence is the number one trait you can give your child. The number one gift you can bestow him with. You want to be benevolent? You want to be kind to your kid? Instill in him confidence. I could do it on my own. Why? So I'll tell you why. Because if Hinuch is all about making choices and training my kid to the point where he could always pick good over bad, a child who is not confident always looks at his friends to see what should I do. He's not confident on his own to make his own decisions. He's always looking to see, what's my friend doing? He's always looking to see, what's my neighbor doing? He's always looking to see, what's my big brother doing? And unfortunately, many times, the big brother, the cousin, the friend, are not doing the right thing. And unfortunately, that causes the kid not to do the right thing. So you want your child always to pick right? Confidence. How do you instill your child with confidence? What do you do? How do we give our children the proper... But I want to tell you something. I just had a Shabbaton with my 11th grade. I took my 11th grade to deal, right, to my mother-in-law. I tried to get her back. And we had a session, and we all sat down together. And I started talking to them about freedom and who's a free person. And we started talking to them, and they came out. The result was that if your friends get you to do things, you're not a free person. But it's a confident person that never worries about what my friend wants from me, what my friends expect from me, what my colleagues are asking me to do. I want to tell you something. Some people never step out of it. Some people always look for acceptance from their peers. I'll give you an example. I know somebody, their daughter got married 6 years ago. 6 years ago, the daughter got married. And the guy's still paying off his wedding debts. Because he had to make a wedding that he couldn't afford, because his wedding had to be as nice as his brother's. Isn't that sad? But a person who's confident, a person who's sure of himself, a person who has that surety, he's able to make decisions when nobody else is influenced. So you want to give chinuch to your son? You want to make sure that your kid is at that point where he can choose on his own? He can choose right over wrong? Naeem, I have my first 2 victims over there. No, later. The way to do it is to give him confidence. Now, how do you give confidence? I don't understand. How do you give your child confidence? So I'll tell you. Number 1, confidence, you can't be a liar. You can't be a liar to make your son confident. In other words, your kid is horrible at math. Horrible. Kid don't know how to multiply 5 by 6. He comes home, he has a 0. Oh, you're the best math kid. Well, he's not the best math kid. You're lying, Kazam. But you know what you could do? Whatever your kid is good at, whatever your child does excel in, that you take and you exalt it. You make the biggest case out of it. Wow, what a ball player you are. I can't believe what an unbelievable... You are the best ball player I ever saw. You're such a great kid. Wow, you're drawing? Kid loves to draw. Kid loves to draw. Ah, you draw like a... I can't draw like that. I'm not able to draw that way. You could draw. You're amazing. And the other thing that a kid needs, and a kid always needs, is to know that his daddy loves him. I gotta tell you a very sad story that I just heard. Horrible story. There's a man, he's a billionaire. Okay? A billionaire. He's not a millionaire. He's a billionaire. The guy came, his mother was a survivor of the Holocaust. She was married to a man, the man died, and all her kids died. Lo aleinu. She came to America and married another man. And then she had that child. And his entire life, she never told him, I love you. She was scared to tell her son, I love you, because she was scared that something might happen and it might have really affect that child. So she never said, I love you. Well, the guy went out and he made millions of dollars. On her deathbed, she turned to her son and said, son, I want to tell you something. I never told you. I'm proud of who you became. She didn't say, I love you. She couldn't say it. She said, I'm proud of who you became. I never told you before. The man says, I want to tell you, I made billions of dollars. I made crazy deals. And none of them felt as good as when my mother told me, I'm proud of who you became. You want to give your child that strength, the agility, the ability to choose right over wrong? How many times do you tell your kid, I love you? How many times do you tell your kid, honey, I love you? You give him a hug, give him a kiss, give her a hug, give her a kiss. All the time. I do it in the street. They hate it. My kids can't stand it. In the middle of King's Highway, I'm walking with my daughter. I come, right? We will come out of the dentist office. I come, she's the 13th, she's the many years, there's not so many kids. And she has many kids, everybody should have. Okay? And I come and I give her a big kiss on, she turns purple. Turns purple. Daddy, we're in public. Come on, right? I don't care. It's such an important idea. Because if your kid feels confident and loved, I guarantee you that child has a much better chance of surviving his childhood and teenagehood than a person who doesn't feel loved or confident. Tip number 1. Tip number 2. Pasuk in Mishlei writes, Hinuch lanar api darko. What does that mean? Hinuch lanar api darko means that if you see that your kid is good in something, use that to get him to connect to Borei Olam. Use that. I want to tell you something. When I was a 5th grade teacher, many years ago, many years ago, 16 years ago. And I remember I had a kid in my class that could not pass the test for his life. Nothing he could do could help him excel. So I came up to him and I said, listen, let me ask you a question. Bring me a notebook. He says, Rabbi, I don't want to bring me a notebook. Let me see your notebook. I want to see your notes. Maybe there's something we can do. Maybe you're doing something. Maybe I can help you. He brings me his notes. And his notes, not one word of Torah on the whole notebook. Everything is pictures. Pictures. I want to see. There was one picture of Rabbi Zeytouneh, okay, right? There's pictures all over the place. I turned to him and I said, beautiful. You want to get a 95 on your test? He says, yeah, sure, Rabbi. I said, good. From now on, I want you to draw your notes. You know what I just said? I want you to draw your notes. That means we're learning about Moshe Rabbeinu. We're learning about Kriyat Yam Suf. Wonderful. I want you to draw Kriyat Yam Suf. I want you to draw it. And you're going to see how well you do on the next test. He drew it. Next test, he got a 95. His mother comes, she sees a 95. She asks him, how do you do this? He said, Rabbi Zeytouneh told me I should draw my notes. Draw your notes? What's the matter with you? Don't draw your notes. You have to be like every other kid. You're not drawing your notes. He stopped drawing his notes and he failed. I don't understand. Your kid is a good artist. Let him draw his notes. There are musicians out there. Not everybody's Tamid Chacham. Not everybody's cut out to be a rabbi. Not everybody's cut out to be a kolel, or an avrech, or a doctor. But you have a kid who knows how to play an instrument, who has a beautiful voice. He loves music. Well, then you have a very big choice to make. Am I going to use that musical love and that talent, and I'm going to channel it to Yirat Shamayim? Am I going to teach him Hazanut, and teach him how to read the Torah, and teach him Ma'amat, and teach him all the beautiful, the lyrical, beautiful lyrics of our great grandfathers? Or no, go listen to booga 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 booga, whatever. And enjoy the music that way. Because if he loves music, he's going to hear music. The question is, what type of music? That's up to you. And a kid who loves art is going to draw art. What kind of art? That's up to you. And a person who has a great memory, he's going to memorize. What's he going to memorize? That's up to you. Means, let's take a look. What is my kid good at? I want to tell you something. Me growing up I was very funny looking. I was very funny. Okay? And I always like to make people laugh. And Baruch Hashem, I learned how to channel it to give classes where I make people laugh. Use your strengths, your kid's strengths, and channel it to Yirat Shamayim and watch how your child flourishes. Watch how your kid grows. Watch. I want to say, my son, Shia Bari, many years, everyone's kids, right? My son loves basketball. Loves it. For him, give him a court, give him a ball, give him 2 hours, he's rolling. Somebody's supposed to say, no, go learn. No, go learn. Hazid, the kid burns out. So he's allowed to play basketball. And I embrace it. Dad, you should have seen I scored 4 times. I put it between my legs. By the way, he learned from me. I said, wow, you did that. It's amazing. Great. And that way when he comes home from yeshiva and I ask him what he's doing, he's equally as happy. Because I listened to him. Hanoch lanal al pi darko. Tip number 2. Tip number 3. One second. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol mi'yav dvaro. Writes the Peleoites. Listen to this. Unbelievable words. Here we go. וכשם שצריך לחנכם בתורה ומצוות, just like if to teach kids תורה ומצוות, כך צריך ללמדם ולחנכם בדרך ארץ ומידות טובות. We have to teach our kids good midot. How to be not only a ben Torah, how to be a mensch, how to be a proper person. By the way, if you're really a ben Torah, then you're a mensch. The idea that I take something, I say thank you. It's derech eretz. It's not a hidush. It's regular, proper etiquette. Or to say, please. Or how are you? You know, it's very funny. I know people that I see walking on the street. Okay? I see people walking on the street. I go, hi. Hi, Rabbi, how are you? And by the time I get to answer, they're down the block. They don't care who I am. Hi, how are you? Well, actually, where'd you go? You asked me. You asked me how I. Do you care? These are midot. The idea that I can listen to someone who needs advice or guidance or needs to just, vent. These are midot we have to instill in our kids. Not when they're 14. But Rabbi, my kid's 14 already. What do I do? Well, better 14 than 24. There's a way to do these things. And I want to tell you something. I heard this from Rabbi Price, Allah Shalom. Rabbi Price was the Benail of Manhattan Beach and Prospect Park for many years. He told me the following. He said, imagine a kid calls you. Someone calls your house. Okay? Somebody calls your house. Hi, is Rabbi Zeytouneh there? You can answer the phone. Who is it? I don't know. It's the IRS. Lo alenu. No, the IRS don't want to give me money. I mean, they give me. If it's Rabbi Zeytouneh, they're only giving me money. Anyway, so 1 second. Daddy, the IRS is on the phone. Shh. The IRS is on the phone. Tell them I'm not here. Tell them I'm not here. My daddy said he's not here. Rabotai, what did you just teach your kid to do?
Lie.
I know the answer, thank you very much. You just taught your kid to lie. You want your kids to have good midot? You have good midot. You have good midot. If I am a person who comes and I respect my parents, and I give my kavod to my wife, then my kids are going to give kavod to my wife. But if I denigrate my wife, and I scream at my wife, and I embarrass my wife, and I belittle my wife, and I deride my wife, don't be surprised if your kid, not that he derides his wife, he'll deride your wife, his own mother. Because the kids learn from their parents. I'll tell you a great story. There was one time, ready? Listen to this, unbelievable. I think I heard from Rabbi Pesach Kron, if I'm not mistaken. One time a guy came, it was Friday night, So it's Friday mornings. Everyone they have a Shabbat party in the class. And the kid was a Shabbat Abba. So the kid comes, he takes the hagefen, stands up, and he says, Ami Maranan, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu Melech Pari Pri Hagefen. Everyone says, Amen. He drinks, he sits in the seat. What a hard week I had this week. 5-year-old kid. Where do you get that from? That's what he sees his father do every week. I can't give me boo. So that's the way his father's acting. Do you want him to act any different? We have to instill in our kids, by personal example, good midot. And if we're able to do that, Be'ezrat Hashem, if we're able to do it, then Be'ezrat Hashem, our kids will come out with good midot as well. Tip number 4. I'm almost done. Don't worry. Right? So, halal v'yesh zeman. Good. Halal akal u'mniach. Good. 1 second. Listen very careful. We have 5. Okay, anyway, 1 second. Okay, ready? Here we go. Writes the Peleoetz. והכל לפי דעתו של בן ולפי שנה ויגלגל עמו. פעמים בהקאות, פעמים בתוכחות, פעמים ברכות, פעמים במתנות, right? פעמים דברים טובים. There's not one system with any kid. Anybody here ever played chess? Ever played chess? Okay, forget chess. Business, you ever have a customer? What's going on? Okay, so everyone has a customer. A customer comes in. So you present him with something. And you show him how it's good. He says, no, not for me. Okay, wait.
I'll give you something.
What do? One way didn't work. You switch your strategy.
Yeah, we'll do another way.
You switch your strategy. I want to tell you a great story. With my son. I'll tell you what happened with my son. My son, buddy, he was in school. And he was having a hard time with this particular Rebbe. He didn't like his Rebbe. He didn't like him. He liked him. But it was boring. And he started doodling and making pictures. And I said, wait, he's not interested. I can't do this. I got to get my kid interested. I said, here's the following scenario. I had him sit down. I'll make you a deal. I said, you like money? He said, I like money. I said, Mitel Abu. Good. I said, here we go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a notebook. You have a notebook? He looked at me, Mitel Mastul. I said, a notebook. You know, a notebook with the lines, you write? He said, yes, I have a notebook. I said, good. Here's what I want you to do. I want you, every time you have a question on something you learned in Gemara, you write it down. $3. Every question. I said, wait a second. I said, 1 second. Don't send your kids to me. That's not happening. Okay, fine. 1 second. I said, wait. I said, hold on a second. Every time you answer the question, you come up with a chidush, $7. I said, but wait. Your Rebbe has to check every question to make sure it's a good question. And your Rebbe has to check every answer to make sure it's a good answer. I don't pay if it's not certified by a professional. It's got to be certified by I'll pay. Completely turned around the child. It completely turned him around. Why? He got connected to his Rebbe. His Rebbe's on his team now. Yeah. You and me are together. You got to certify everything. Rabbi, you like this question? It's good? Yeah, good. Oh, good. I just made $3. By the way, he's still doing it today, years later. No money. It's done. Because I found the tactic that worked with it. There's not one system with every kid. Every kid works differently, just like every customer is different. Your child is a customer. God sent them to you to make a be'ah. What's the be'ah? To get a mitzvah. Your olam haba is going to come from your kid. Your olam haba is going to come from your child. Your child is a customer. Make sure you treat him the right way. So that's number 4. I have one more. 4 plus 1.
$13 an hour starting today.
You're going to write down chidushim? Allah side. Number 5.
I will pay. I'm the winner.
You're going to pay?
I will pay.
You'll pay me? Number 5. Here we go. Finishes off the Peleoetz. And with this I want to finish off. והכל לשפוך נפשו לפני אדוני שלא יהיו חטאותם מונעים הטוב ממנו שחוזרו זה לקודש, קדושים זה לאנשים. Every day we have to pray that our kids end up good. Everybody knows the Gemara Masechet Berachot about a man named Chizkiyahu HaMelech. Chizkiyahu HaMelech was the greatest king perhaps the Bnei Israel ever had. Every child in those days knew the halachot of Tum'ah and Tahara. Chizkiyahu HaMelech took a sword and he put it in front of him and said, anyone who doesn't walk in, he's going to kill him. ISIS style, Daesh. Okay? Listen very carefully. Listen to this. Daesh. Okay. Anyway. One day, Yeshayahu comes to Chizkiyahu. Says, I'm sorry, Your Majesty, you're dying. Why? Look what I did. Look what I accomplished. Look what I achieved. What do you say? He says, you didn't fulfill Periyah v'Ribiyah. You never had kids? Chizkiyahu says, but I have an answer for that. I know that I'm going to have a kid. The kid's going to come, chas v'shalom lo, it's going to come out bad. Yeshayahu says, listen, you do what you have to do, and let Hashem do what He has to do. This week's parasha, Yaakov Avinu sees Ephraim and Menashe. Mi'ele, who are these? Rashi writes, he saw that the Reshaim are going to come from Ephraim and Menashe. Nistalkat Shekhinah mimenu. Nistalkat Shekhinah. And not ruim lebracha, they're not fitting for bracha. What does Rashi write? What did Yosef do? Banai. These are my kids. He took out Shtar Elusi, Shtar Kedushin. Look, these are my kids. Ve'itpalel Yosef al davar ve'chazar Shekhinah. Yosef comes, he shows him, look, there's Zera Kodesh. And then he prays. Shekhinah comes back. To tell you, why did Yosef just pray? God says, you do everything you can with your kid. You do everything you can with your child. And then you pray. And then you pray to Borei Olam. And you beg to Hashem Barach. And you say, please Hashem, let my kid be Zera Kodesh. Look how much I tried. I gave him confidence and love. And I gave him everything that he needed, everything that's necessitated, everything. I'm showing him how to have midot tovot. And I'm telling him where to sit down next to me. I'm telling him to pray to Borei Olam. But the result is not up to me. The result is up to you, Hashem. And that's why we have to pray to Borei Olam every day, multiple times. I'm doing mine. Borei Olam, hold my hand and help me. And I want to tell you one last thing. One last thing. Gemara Masechet Kedushin writes, Shlosha shutafim ba'adam. There are three partners in mankind. The father, the mother, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Every one of them has 33%. The father 33%, the mother 33%, and Borei Olam 33%. A person once came to Rav Moshe Feinstein and said, Rabbi, I got to pull my kid out of yeshiva. I want my kid to be a mathematician. I love math. I want my kid to be a mathematician. Rav Moshe Feinstein says, what are you talking about? You can't pull your kid out of Torah. You can't pull your kid out of yeshiva. What are you going to do? You put him in public school? He said, listen, I'm a mathematician. The Gemara Masechet Kedushin writes, 3 shutafim ba'adam, me, my wife, and you. You represent Borei Olam. That's only 33%. Me and my wife, we're 66%. 66, and we win. We want the kid in public school. Rav Moshe turns to them and says, your math is wrong, Mehila. Why is your math wrong? You're splitting it into 3. You're not supposed to split it into 3. You have to split it into 9. Because you're made of 3 parts. You, the father. You have your mother, your father, and God. The mother has a mother, a father, and God. And God has God, God, God. Wait a second. From your part, you, 1/3, 11%, says he stays in yeshiva. That's God's part. 22% say he goes to public school. It's good. So I have 33% plus 11 from you. I have 44%. Your wife, 11% of 33% of her, which is 11% of the 33%, says he goes to yeshiva. That's God. So I get her 33, 10, 11%. That's 55%. 55% into, he stays here. And the kid stayed in yeshiva. And he beat the bichacha. When we're choosing for our child, you have to always remember that 55% of your kid is God. 55%. He has 33% on his own. He has 11% from you. And 11% from your wife. So every decision we have to make is, what does God want? Because He's the majority partner. I thank you for listening. B'ezrat Hashem, we should together be able to raise wonderful kids. Baruch Adonai L'olam. V'chananya v'rakasha u'me'er ha'sayis v'achod o'isach v'chang b'alet b'azo shemat. Ha'ak v'etzmat zikor yagdir Torah v'yadir.